Melody here. You might know me as ApplePie Movement. In today's interview with Mindy Dawn, we discuss how she has become a visual activist for the LGBTQ community, fighting for equity in the state of Georgia. So grab a piece of pie. Come on, join our conversation.
Do you feel kind of as though allies who are afraid to be seen with a flag or any kind of paraphernalia, maybe it's rooted in some sort of insecurity from their culture or their family or their upbringing, where they're okay with our being gay, but they don't want to be seen themselves as being gay and be judged for that. Whereas if you're really a true ally, the people in your life who matter to you will accept you, whether you're gay, straight, whatever it is that you are.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that there comes a moment of having that phobia of perception, about yourself. I think that queers feel it too. Like, they don't want to be standing on the front line because maybe they're not out to all their family, or maybe they're not out to their employer or something like that, and they and they feel a sense of insecurity around it. I think there's a similar phobia among certain allies where they're like, hey, I see you, I respect you, I value your relationship, I believe that you and your wife are your marriage is absolutely valid and equal and wonderful, but I can't go out to that march, or I'm kind of gonna have to vote this way because of this specific thing, and don't realize that I was thinking about this today. I try to go out and get exercise every day, and it used to be walking, and then it was jogging, and now it's wogging. And I was thinking about and you hear this all the time that equality isn't equality if we are all not equal. And you'll see some, certain things that are being, compromises that are made for the sense of expediency. So even if you look at the suffragettes from, 100 years ago, great work that they did, clearly had a women should vote point of view. And maybe there were some people that were, that were thinking that all women should have the right to vote. But let's start with white women, because that might be a little bit easier and more palatable. But I get really conflicted around this, because any progress is great, but not at the expense of other people's liberties. And I think everybody's made that mistake at some point in their life, and have, I feel like my earliest regrets when I was coming out for myself, and being a gender nonconforming lesbian, masculine of center, frequently people would be like, well, you look boyish, so you must be the man in the relationship. And I'm like, the beautiful thing about being in a lesbian relationship is that there is no man, and the gender that you're trying to put on it is not right. And I'm not trying to be a man, like I'm not like one of those people who's like trans or anything like that. I'm saying it in a pejorative manner, because I had been mistaken for being male any number of times, because of my haircut and because of the manner in which I dress. And whenever people would misgender me, it hurt me. And so I felt like, because I didn't know people at the time that were trans, I just knew that I wasn't. I couldn't understand how somebody could make that transition. And so I was willing to be disrespectful of trans people because it made me feel like I was higher on a pedestal. And I mean, that's absolutely, in retrospect, like I can say that I don't have regrets in my life. Wish I never did that. Wish that was something that I never had to learn that way. Wish I never hurt people in the manner in which I did. by thinking that I was doing something that was expedient for me and trying to explain something to someone who was not a part of the community. Just, I felt like I was making inroads, and what I was doing was I was compromising an entire people. So I mean, I think that's what part of what makes me such a trans warrior, these days, is because I know how it feels to not understand, and I know how my heart evolved. And so I grant a lot more space for people who are not in the community and who don't have the exposure that I do, to need a little help along the way. And I'm, I feel so grateful to have that place to be able to make those, also to to give my trans brothers and sisters those opportunities, at the expense of me having certain opportunities, because I know that their road is much harder.
I think that our allies and even within our own community, persons such as yourself, moments such as what you just described, do you think that these moments take place because we are socialized to live out of a spirit of fear, and people are somehow afraid that by giving somebody else an additional liberty or right that they're going to lose something? And if so, how can we remediate that?
Yeah, I think that people who were so afraid that gay marriage was going to dilute the meaning and potency of straight marriage and marriage in general, like, no idea where that sort of fear comes from. But I do think that there is this, it harkens back to that poem, and I can't recall who it's by, and I can't recall all the aspects of it. But, like, first they came from the communists. I didn't say anything because I wasn't a communist. And then they came for the socialists, and I didn't say anything because I wasn't a socialist. And then they came for the blacks, and then they came for the Jews, and then they came for and then they were coming for me. There was stand up. So, fear does a really, really great job of isolating people and makes it easier for bullies to pick you off. And we are a much more beautiful country and much more beautiful people when we stand together. I don't care if you are heterosexual or asexual or cisgender or transgender or black or white or Asian. I don't care who you are. If you are a like-minded and a like-hearted person, then we're gonna be a better world. I think I saw one of your videos where you talk about like the vibrations of the earth, and I like I am somebody, I've taken the I don't know if you've ever taken Strengths Finder.
And what?
Strengths Finder. It's I think it's now owned by Gallup. It's you take this I don't know, maybe it's about 30 minutes. It gives you a whole bunch of different questions, and you have to answer them within a very, very short period of time. So it's very instinct driven. And at the end, it tells you, it ranks your strength from number 1 to number 36, and really focuses on the concept of strength. So if you're not really understanding the program, then what you're going to do is you're going to look at that list of your top 36 strengths. You're going to look at your number 1, and you can be like, yeah, I'm really strong in that. And then you're going to look at 36, and you'll be like, oh, that's where I'm weak. But really, when you think about it, your number 36 is actually a recessive strength. And if you're focusing on the things that are in your top 5 strengths, then those things that are more recessive as strengths, they become a lot more easy for you to ramp up because you're in your sweet spot. And my number 1 strength is connectedness. Connectedness is the thing that brings me great joy. The stranger who comes over to me and I have a meaningful interaction with in person. It's the, or even on social media, on Instagram, having somebody who I've never met who might be half a world away, who connects with something in me, and they feel that it lights something up in them. Like those moments really mean something to me. So like it keeps me in a place of gratitude. So anytime you have moments of like deep pride and deep ego where you could just be like, I'm everything. This is the greatest. I'm the king of this mountain. Nobody gets anywhere by themselves. We all stand on the shoulders of giants, and it's our responsibility to look back and see who those giants are, and reflect on that, because that's the thing that it doesn't just keep you humble, but it also makes you realize how we are all interconnected. So like it's those meaningful interactions and connectedness that are the things that really inspires me to be so out there, and even when I get knocked down by life, sometimes those are the interactions that make me feel revived.
Yes, I agree. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us for another ApplePie Table Talk. We'll look forward to seeing you again. Thank you, Mindy, for being our guest. It was great getting to know you and spend some time together. We'll look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, Melody. Had a great time.